said he's levels above you right now. What do you think of that?
The thing is, like, you got to have some type of punching power to get me off you, because it'll be a different style, and I'm not going to hit him light. Every time I'm putting it on him, you know? I want that fight. Shakur, let's get it. I see you. Hey, I like the hat. You look fly, but I want that work. Let's get it.
Man, good win by Ryan. He came out early. He set the tone against Mario, you know, and I pretty much knew he had a chance to win that fight. When you look at it, you know, Mario, his last fight with Pacquiao was hella slow. He was sluggish, and he was just essentially a sitting duck. And Ryan came out there, you know, as we say, styles make fights. You know, Mario sat there. You know, obviously you're going to allow a fighter, a puncher like Ryan to get his stuff off, you know, if that's your style of fight. And there was two Mexicans going at it. So, you know, the Mexican style of fighting is brawling, getting in there and getting nasty. And when you allow that, you know, Ryan going to be able to get his stuff off when it comes to an exchange style fight. But I just didn't know which Ryan we was going to get. I didn't know if we was going to get an aggressive Ryan or if we was going to get a timid Ryan. But Ryan came in, he looked focused, but I think he looked the way he looked in that fight because of the style that Mario fought, which obviously is a up close and personal, you know, Mexican style fight. But, you know, don't bring up Devin Haney, man. You was drugged up, man. You had that stuff in your system. So, you know, that fight is null and void. You know, you pretty much looked a shell of yourself when you was off that, when you fought Rolly, which Rolly beat you with one hand. But it looks like he's better at 147, in which, you know, that fight better off suited him because he obviously had more weight and strength, and it can't, you know, it was in his advantage. But when you look at the fight with Shakur, you know, the difference between Mexicans and black fighters is Mexicans are like a up close brawlers, and then black fighters is to get hit, not get hit, and do it with style. And that's just pretty much that style of Shakur. Is not going to equate to what Ryan is going to be able to do. Like, he's not going to be able to get that stuff off like he would against Mario. You know, if you saw how he did against Tank, you know, he couldn't get it off. Tank was essentially, you know, I mean, granted, Tank be running all the time, but, you know, Tank still, you know, was getting up out of there and didn't allow Ryan to get active. And, you know, Shakur going to assist you through the same thing, but we'll have to see, because Shakur, you know, his last two fights, you know, he been fighting off his front foot. So we're just going to have to see, but I don't think Shakur should get in exchange with Ryan, you know, because that left hook is what that left hook is. You know, you got to respect a person's advantage, and, you know, Tank handicapped him, but Devin, I feel he did get chipped with it, you know, but Ryan was still on that, so that's a null and void fight. But if styles make fights, you know, Shakur is gonna beat him easy. You know, hopefully, you know, Ryan can take this momentum, and if they do make this fight happen, you know, it'll be a good fight, and it'll be a good pay-per-view event for these guys. So get down in the comment section, let me know what you guys think. Do you think Ryan Garcia is gonna beat Shakur?